Cause and effect are one. Murdo MacDonald-Bayne. If anyone thirst, come to me and drink, out of his body streams of living water will flow. John 7:37-38. We all generalize life by names such as Christ, reality, essence, truth, God, etc. When we do so, we set up in our minds different ideas of what we think life is, but you will readily see that life is not an idea nor an image in the mind. Life is our living, expressing creativeness within, which is not separate from the livingness of the eternal Christ. Names give a relative characterization to life, and few have become aware of this fact. Therefore we will never find this creativeness until we have discerned this clearly. Names and ideas and our beliefs change from day to day, but never this eternal living creativeness which neither knows birth nor death. When we become aware of ourselves as the living ever-present creative life which alone has consciousness, there is a continual unfoldment through which we continually make adjustments as we begin to understand ourselves. We see how our thoughts and emotions arise, consequently we begin to understand ourselves. That which creates is that which is behind all creation, including man, and has no beginning and no ending. All manifested substance, forms, composition, all visible things are but the expression of this interior creativeness and is the invisible essence within that substance, form, composition, and all visible things. Just as electricity is the invisible power in the dynamo, so is life that invisible power within us, that creativeness that has no beginning, no ending. Yet to think about this makes it relative, thereby we lose the awareness of it. When we discern our own creations, thoughts, emotions, effects, and become aware of our own creativeness, then does the consciousness begin to know itself, not in the knowing of what it is, but of becoming aware as the creativeness behind all things, great and small. There is identification not in the relative as an idea in mind, but as an interior identification that realizes and understands what is behind all creation and is the creativeness within the self. Yet only when the self has disappeared can the completeness of this invisible creativeness be realized. Is it not so that we are caught up in our own creations, and are not aware of the creativeness, that invisible force that holds our creations in substance, composition, and form? When we are caught up in the created, then we react to the created, and our thought feeling is built up from our mental reactions to the external, so we are no longer aware. We become chaff that is blown about by every wind that blows. This is the most important thing in our daily existence, but few have comprehended its great significance. We must realize that the creativeness is ever present and is the only reality. The things we see, feel, touch, are but the effects of this invisible cause which is the sustaining power in every created thing. When our minds and thoughts become confused, we will know that it is because we are not aware. Awareness is something that each one must find out for him herself. Science has revealed to us that there is an invisible substance which they have named ether of space, and that this invisible substance is the basis of all things visible. This substance of itself is not the cause of things visible, but an invisible intelligence that is creative within it. If you become aware that it is by this invisible intelligence that you create, then whatever the consciousness is aware of, so does the invisible substance become the composition, the form, be it a thought or any other creation. Yet there is but one source of creativeness, whether your thoughts are the result of external reaction or of pure thinking. Through awareness, this invisible intelligence becomes the hidden force behind all our creations. Therefore form comes through an interior cause which is responsible for appearances. Now appearances are what the senses respond to and are generally taken for realities. Only the consciousness that is aware can see behind appearances, and there find the cause. Is it not necessary then for us to become aware of our thought-feeling reactions to know the cause of our own misery or joy? This all-important truth must be realized, otherwise we will still perpetuate our misery. The stars beckon us to seek that which is beyond all appearances, for herein lies the power of man, but few have grasped it and used it. I was with thee before the world was. Man today is impotent in a world of effects. He is torn with confusion and strife which overwhelms him, and he sees no solution because he himself is the cause. What man is, so is the world. Man is not limited to the five senses, for what they reveal are but effects. The intelligence has created an instrument for its own self-expression through which intuition and clear thinking is possible, therefore not depending on what others did, said, or believed, in the past. If the past prevents the expression of the ever-present life and love, it must be absolutely discarded. Only that which is helpful must remain, otherwise we will perpetuate the ignorance of the past to cause more misery for ourselves and others. When we find that our troubles are created by ourselves, we will soon find the solution within ourselves. Certainly we will never find it external to ourselves. The cause is never separate from the effect. The effect can only be removed when the cause is revealed and the self is the cause. Unless we begin to understand ourselves, our motives, our thoughts, our reactions, we will never know the real cause. Therefore we will continue to perpetuate the cause and the effect, for man thinks good and evil by the same power. It is this deep understanding that will enable us to move onward and upward side by side with deep logical reasoning, which enables us to see further than those who attribute their knowledge to the limited sphere of the physical senses. When we become thoroughly aware, we will have a guidance that cannot be obtained by mere groping in the mind. We will never find the secret of the lotus flower in the mud out of which it grows. For only by understanding the spiritual cause that forever remains invisible to the senses, can this be comprehended through deep thoughtful contemplation. Are we not told in St. John that we will never understand until we comprehend the mighty truth about ourselves, that we are not the blood of man, nor the will of the flesh, because it has none, nor the will of man but born of God? No man has ever seen God, but the Father is revealed in the Son. It was this that Jesus revealed to us. The price he paid in revealing this great truth can never be appraised by the human mind. Only those who understand can realize that the debt humanity owes him can never be paid, except through following in his footsteps. In plain words, the Master stated to us that he was in the Father and the Father was in him, and the things he did were done by the Father who ever remained in him. It was the Father who was performing his own deeds. For when you have seen me, you have seen the Father. Your Father and my Father, our Father who art in heaven, and the kingdom of heaven is within you. Now this has nothing to do with ethics, which blinds the consciousness to the truth of the ever-present life that is ever creative. I have said to you before that if we live in the past or the future, we will never know the ever-present creative life that is all in all. Ethics is eternally caught up in the relative, therefore truth can never be revealed through ethics. Those whose minds are caught up in ethics can never know the warmth and joy that can be attained through the awareness of the ever-present life and love, waiting to express itself through the individual that is aware. The ever-present love and wisdom is ever-present, ever waiting to give expression through those who realize it. It is simple, unaffected, just and kind, always loving, always generous, always forgiving, never makes a vain display and does not boast. It is not easily provoked and thinks no evil. It never fails when put to the test, no matter in what situation. Its power lies in the fact that it is ever present and all-knowing. It knows no opposition and is never antagonistic in any individual towards others. There is a calmness that nothing can move because it is all in all. There is nothing outside it and all is within it and it is within all. It goes beyond the reason of man, but it is not subject to the reason of man. It is reality itself. It is perfect harmony, and this harmony is within all. Yet it cannot express this harmony until man has subdued the noise in himself. It is the translation of this ever-present life in our daily living that reveals what is in our hearts. We may have an intelligent grasp of the truth, but unless we translate the truth into our daily living, we will be as ignorant as those who never heard of it. We will be like the man who looked into the mirror and saw a reflection of himself and immediately went away and forgot what he was like. This likeness to our Creator is covered up with our possessions, our cravings, our antagonism. We battle, we struggle with effects unaware of the cause, yet through understanding our suffering caused by our own misunderstanding will come the wisdom that will guide us to freedom. I will give unto him that is athirst, aware of the fountain of the water of life freely. Revelation 21:6. Benediction. O eternal ever-present life and love, my inspiration is thine. The vast expanse of thy eternal presence cannot be measured by human mind, Yet my prayers will be the expression of thy presence, and thy love and wisdom my guide. As I know myself, so do I find I am one with thee, O Eternal One. My peace and my love remain with you. Yours very sincerely, Murdo MacDonald-Bayne.